the Paris group stage, that is. And let me tell you guys, the crowd here has been amazing all weekend long, and the matches just as much so. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got in store for the rest of the day. Now, we just saw Italy and Germany do battle, and Germany was able to come out with the victory, which means Italy is officially out of the running for a BlizzCon spot. Unfortunately, they were unable to get any map points or the map points that they needed. Later on, though, we will see Italy going up against the UK. Then we'll see Poland versus the Netherlands and UK versus France. That banger at the end of the day. But up next, we have Poland going up against France. And let me tell you guys, with Italy losing that match, that means that the UK and France have officially qualified for BlizzCon. And right now, it's just a matter of figuring out who has that #1 seed. And this is very important because that #1 seed could be the difference maker for who everybody faces in the first round at BlizzCon. I know a lot of people are trying to dodge Team USA and Team South Korea. Getting the first seed, you can do that for the first round. And speaking of which, we're going to find out who's going to be facing up against who when the matches are all done today. So make sure you stick around when we're concluded at the end of the day when the UK and France match is over. And also, guys, please continue to send the love through social media. Hit up Twitter and use the hashtag OWWC2018, and you can be a part of our fan post brought to you by T-Mobile. Anyways, it looks like the teams are ready. It looks like the crowd here is ready. They're always ready. So we're going to go ahead and get straight back into the action and send things on over to our casters.
Thank you, Malik. We're hitting the home stretch here in the Overwatch World Cup down here in Paris, but we still got a little bit of Overwatch left to go. And even though France has already qualified to get to BlizzCon, they do want to finish out strong. And going up against Poland, a team that definitely has players that want to get up to the Overwatch League, they still have a lot to prove.
Absolutely. This French team, they don't want to disappoint this crowd. Been so supportive all weekend long. Really impressive stuff from the crowd. It's insane to see that level of support out here in Paris. So the French team, they've got a lot to prove. They want to keep it rolling, keep that crowd excited for their final game of the day. And on the other side, this Polish roster, they're not done yet. They're playing for pride at this point. Want to show everything that they have to bring to bear here. Get all those talented players their exposure that they deserve here at the group stage.
Absolutely. And by the way, big shout out to the crowd here that is live. Has been absolutely fantastic. Not just for the hometown team, but also cheering for all the other teams here in the group stage. It's always great to see a crowd this lively here in esports. And of course, to see it out there, a lot of people really excited, especially not only for this match, but the match later on in the day.
I love the intensity, and I'm really excited for this match. Poland, a team that I think could match up well against France. It'll be a difficult game for Team Poland. Of course, France, so dominant so far in the tournament, but Poland, they've shown real bright spots. They've been one of the few teams to really implement that somber Doomfist comp that we've seen a lot of in the North American region. So for me, maybe we can see some of that come out, deal with this classic 3-3 that France has been so strong on.
Well, speaking of that Polish roster, let's take a look at who they got on here. Of course, names that should be familiar to you by now here in this group stage, but you take a look at that man right on the right there, Danye, has certainly been one to impress. But we've also seen cool tank play coming out from players like Dexter and Shadow as well.
Dexter's had great self-destructs, great use of the Matrix all weekend long here, really doing well on that Diva for his team. It's such an important role, and Dexter is really filling it well, rounding out this Polish roster, giving Danye a little bit more support to work with.
And of course, looking over to the other side, the French team, the team that has already qualified for BlizzCon, but they want even more. You've got OWL players top to bottom here, and they have played very well in the group stage.
We've got AKM here coming in for the first half of this match. Makes sense to bring him out on that Zarya in the 3-3 comp or those classic hit scans if they want to play that dive. And we're going to get right into this control map. Let's see which control map we're actually going on to here for the first map of the set.
What's it going to be? It's going to be Ilios. A little bit of sun and fun here to start things out. Ilios definitely one of the cheerier maps here in Overwatch, but also one where you do have very different strategies that comes out depending on what stage you're at, where I would argue that the Ruin side, probably one of the most unique control stages in the game.
Well, this is also a great stage for AKM. All of Ilios is really going to have those opportunities to play McCree, Widowmaker, Soldier 76, heroes that AKM is known for being one of the best in the game on. So really looking for impressive stuff from him, carrying the side of Team France. But France, of course, they need to get aggressive here, shut down Danye. Danye has been such a bright spot for the side of Team Poland, so there's potentially a clash of hitscan titans here as we move into the first map.
So Danye is going to be coming out here in the McCree, but you take a look over the France running McCree Pharah. How much of a challenge is this going to be for Danye?
Given that it's Poco on the Pharah, I do think that this is maybe not something that France is going to commit to. Likely, they're going to want to use that Diva. It is so effective in this matchup. You really can't afford to give up that Matrix. It blocks so much damage. And of course, those self-destructs have been just crucial game enders all weekend long. Poland, though, looks like it's going to be potentially a full mirror match here. Both teams favoring the speed boost to McCree strategy. We'll see which McCree is able to produce more. That's really going to be the story of Mitch.
Both teams going to be headed on out here in a hurry, and we'll see just which McCree is going to be more well protected, which McCree will get more value here.
Well, it's Kazano on the Mercy that's going to give Danye an edge, at least in the damage, but wins on the Lucio. The speed boost could change things up. If AKM has better positioning, he could outdo that damage boost coming onto Danye.
AKM under a little bit of pressure here, being poked down by Danye. Now returning fire. France being pretty casual about this. Dooku was in a bit of trouble there. You see AKM rolling around here, back with his team. Neither team taking too much away of risk, but AKM has to be careful. Almost gets taken down. That headshot would have done it. Danye was able to find wins, gets AKM, both brothers down.
Danye absolutely finding the frags here. He's all pocketed by the Mercy. Unko trying to get the peak, but it's so dangerous. Danye discorded, still trying to battle the Zenyatta. He's fearlessly moving up on the point, wants to pick up those last second picks. That's a great mid by Danye. What a clutch headshot to take down AKM.
And you take a look at the ult charge here, right? Danye has done way more damage so far than AKM.
He's got that high noon, and this could be a real struggle, of course. Wins with that speed boost, likely able to get his team out of dodge. But if Ben Best or Poco overcommits, they could really find themselves in trouble with this quick high noon coming out of Danye.
France going to be coming right back in, but Danye in the back. We'll see just how he decides to use the Deadeye here. Again, well protected by his team. Mostly going for poke back and forth, being real respectful they can. Use Deadeye, immediately has to roll. Wasn't quite going his way. Shadow out of the fight early here, so Poland going to be working at a man disadvantage. And France, they want to go back in. AKM, a Deadeye of his own. Looking for the D-Mech, and they get it. France going to easily come back in. They invest the Transcendence, and so far, I think they did have to do it here.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. AKM completely uncontested in this backup point. He's just going to be chipping away at these tanks. France looking to retake control, but Poland, they are getting a ton of delay here on this point. Going to reach at least 50% capture for the first control. That's not so bad, especially with a few ultimates to work with. This recontest might be possible here, but France, they do have double tank ults. It's very difficult to recontest in those two tank ults.
What do you think about France being this highly aggressive? They're moving on in, really trying to challenge Poland way before the point.
Well, the fact that they have been punished for it shows that it was effective, but it's Danye with the double dinks, locking down AKM. He's moving forward. There's no res on the side of Team France, and no one to contest Danye.
Deadeye coming up here from Danye, so well protected, 300 total health, and finds Unko, the Deadeye, gonna grab it, and Poland just easily getting right back over to the point. Now, Wins was able to find Dooku on the side. It's not quite over yet here for France, but Poland is working with a very sizable advantage. You see Danye just hunting things down, but AKM's back. Re-battle on the left-hand side. Shadow goes a little bit far out, and France now actually starting to get back into this fight.
The knockdowns into the pit, that's 2 environmental kills for Team France, allowing them to turn things around. It looks so good for Danye at the start of the fight, but he just can't close it out. Soon, sending Kazano back to the spawn with a rocket flip.
France now again, they're going for this highly aggressive setup, way more aggressive for something going. Deadeye comes up from AKM, and he gets Danye. Danye could not get out of the way in time.
It's a nice high noon from AKM. AKM wants more. He's moving up aggressively in the spawn. It's Poco chasing down Shadow. These stagger kills are so good for Team France. It's really going to shut down Team Poland in their next offense. Dexter commits the self-destruct. Has France overstepped their bounds? No, they don't try to self-destruct. They have to trance even to keep their baby team alive.
Soon going to invest the rally here. Backing on up in a hurry. France doesn't want to overextend. Poco is going to lose the mech here. So France just trying to buy a bit of time. Poco going on back. Gets the remech. Right back after, so France is able to reestablish, and they're one fight away.
Trading ults there, that's going to benefit France as they move towards that 100% capture here on well. This is do or die for Team Poland. They've got a Valkyrie in the tank, but it's Unko with the Transcendence. Could shut them down. They're getting so aggressive. I like this play. They shut down Danye. They're going to protect this res.
They knew where their purpose was. They go immediately in for the McCree. France looking to finish off the round. 3 early pickoffs. Dexter, nowhere to go. Gonna get demeched, and France getting the cleanup they need here. Kaizano absolutely gonna get destroyed by the Deadeye. Overtime ticks down. France. It's round 1.
I love the presence of mind by Team France there. They know the Valkyrie's coming in. They know it's been a few fights that they've seen it. And it's a difficult ult to challenge. I mean, a Valkyrie that's allowed to get full value over the full duration is almost impossible to deal with. That's just so much damage boost, so much heals for the whole team. But they know they have the Transcendence on Unko, and so they dive into that small room. That's where the Trans gets maximum value. Poland, they really can't get healed. The Mercy's up in the sky. She can't actually target the players that she wants to target. So Danye falls, and that's just great presence of mind by Team France. Use the ultimate they have, and they make maximum value with it.
France just very experienced in the Overwatch scene, and look, it makes sense. You know the power of a Transcendence. You go on in, deal with the threat, and it was no surprise that McCree was the heart of the composition there.
It's so important to play to your strengths in this situation. That 1v1 ultimate fight, it's about getting most value out of your ultimate and making the enemy not get what they want, and France finding exactly that with the Transcendence in the enclosed space. Now it's Danye's turn on this Pharah, pocketed by a Mercy. He's going to be essentially uncontested by the composition that Team France wants to run here, but France, for their part, they're just looking to contest point, threaten the fight that way, force Poland to come to those close quarters.
They are giving up a lot of damage here thus far. Danye, not challenged at all. Of course, the real test is going to be, can Poland get in there and deal with France now that they're on the point? You see the poke coming back in, but France has been able to heal back up. They're not really under pressure here, even in the least, and as a result, they're going to get first capture. Danye building the barrage so far, but hasn't done anything to really wound France here just yet. But Unco falls. Matt was able to get him with the flanking Hanzo. Suddenly, there is an opportunity here for Poland.
The trouble with France's composition is that they're allowing themselves to be spammed down. Danye from the flank with the barrage. He's protected by both of his tanks. Great synergy from Team Poland. Looking to retake control here. It's Matt finding the additional frag on AKM and a cleanup for this projectile DPS.
How much stronger is Danye going to be here on the Pharah in a defensive position versus what France is running?
It's definitely going to be good. I mean, coming to this point can be risky. If you go through those side doors, you expose yourself to that potential conk off the map. And of course, tanks, they don't survive that kind of a fall.
Oh, you look at Matt looking for the pickoffs on Hanzo. Would love to get an arrow through the middle. Not quite going to happen here soon. Swapped over to the Roadhog. France going to be going in through the bottom, looking back towards a point. Matt, again, real close to Dragon Strike here. Poland's trying to contest. Not going to be giving this up for free, though 75% has. Dragon Strike ready. Going to be filed right on in, and France, the barrier, keeps them pretty healthy here. Dragon doesn't do anything. Up in Shadow, able to get 2 knockoffs. That's good enough for Poland.
It's those environmental kills that are so effective against this tanky setup. You can't burst their entire health bar, but if you send them over the edge, no amount of healing will save them. Poland, great understanding of the composition, and Shadow isolates 2 to win that team fight.
I look towards France here, certainly in the hole. AKM coming up with the Graviton. How does he have to position this going into this next fight?
It's going to be really hard to get the grab. You can see from the way Poland's playing. You've got Danye in the skybox right over their heads. Matwaj has been playing all of these high angles. It's going to be difficult to find a major grab. Huge barrage from long range, but Poco eats almost all of it. France slipping into the point. They're getting re-healed and threatening the contest.
And McCarron with the grab, looking for Poland on the other side. Poland having used the Transcendence here, but it's not enough. Poco's bomb finds 2. Dexter retaliates. Poland staying in the fight. The Dragon making more room, and they're able to repel France. They're going to recapture here.
Good for France, getting the flip. That's going to mean 5% more for them and 5 less for Poland, but Poland flips it right back. France, they have a real tough test ahead of them, and their composition just isn't working. They're going to make the full swap here. I totally agree with this. Put AKM on that McCree. Give him a chance to shut down this Pharah and Hanzo that are just so deadly against Team France here.
France now going to be going up the left side. AKM to McCree, as you mentioned, looking for pickoffs. But the problem here for France is that they don't have that much way of time. Poland going to look to make it here. Shadow, though, gets chunked. Primal rages and almost immediately falls. Danye, 2-shotted. AKM gets the headshot. Now France with momentum. They've dealt with the Pharah Mercy combo, and Poland doesn't have the chops to actually hold them back now. It will be France retaking at 99.
Danye slides in, wants to drop the barrage on AKM, but AKM is just too quick on the draw. That's a great dink from him, keeping France alive. They get the reflip, want to close out Ilios on this stage.
Meanwhile, for Poland, we have a swap. Now they're going to McCree. They've put the Pharah back in the freezer.
Last time the Lucio from France was too much, but this time I think the Mercy comp is going to be a little stronger. Get Danye up on that high ground, give him the damage boost. It will be really hard to evict him from a position like that.
Gotta love the crowd getting into it here, supporting the hometown team. AKM on the high ground, holding on to the Deadeye. Looking at Poland as they approach. It's high noon, the sun is shining. AKM's looking for a skull here or there, and Poland goes, you know what, we don't like the sun, we're going indoors.
It's a nice dodge, they waited out, now they're going to be going back into point. Shadow takes a ton of damage on the entry. Trans has to come out very early, but a sound barrier in response for Team France.
AKM rolling around, sound barrier up here for France, now starting to contest Poland. They have to go direct on the point. Winslow gets picked off. France now in more trouble. Poco saves, a self-destruct, getting 2 on the other end, and Poland now absolutely disrupted. And this is where AKM can shine, where you have a lot more room to work with. Dexter just barely trying to delay, but gonna get knocked right off to his doom. France now in a firm control on the second round, very likely gonna be their map.
France looking like they're going to take it here. Poland, they don't have a chance to regroup with 6. It's going to be all stagger from here on out. Very difficult to retake the fight in this circumstance. Soon, instant stun, shuts down Shadow, and it's all over here. France flips the point, and they take Ilios. That's map 1.
Absolutely solid play coming out there from France. Even though they got challenged a bit there on the Lighthouse, they were able to adapt. They went to the McCree, they dealt with the Farah, and just good, solid ult usage and positioning from France to reshift the narrative of that game.
For me, the two plays that really did it for them on Lighthouse that brought the things back in control from that 30, I think they had only a 30% cap where Poland was already at 99. So first it was AKM, great headshots. He pushes Shadow away. He can't commit because he takes so much damage so early on the primal. Then AKM, presence of mind to take out Danye before the barrage comes in. That gets him the point flip. But what secured the round for them was that double tank ult. We saw Poka with the self-destruct, and at the same time, Ben Best comes around with the primal and forces them right into the bomb, and they just can't escape.
Absolutely, and of course Poco, if for whatever reason you weren't watching a bunch of Overwatch League for the inaugural season, Poco, certainly one of the very best divas in the business at getting those key self-destructs, but as you mentioned, it's a team effort. It's not just a one-man thing. You have your other tank going there, setting you up, and if you work together, you're gonna get some big plays.
Self-destruct as an ability is just all about team coordination. On its own, it's pretty easy to dodge. It takes such a long time to actually detonate. It's such a predictable arc. You know exactly where it's going to be. If you see it for that first second, there's no way to really adjust on D.Va. So it's up to your team to deny the enemy their escape paths. They're very likely going to be able to escape, but if you can close off those angles or punish them from moving to those positions, that's where the self-destruct gets a ton of value. And France, they're doing a great job playing around Poco in that sense.
Take a look at the crowd. They're getting hyped. Not only do they want to win here, they're thinking about the match later today versus the United Kingdom. You got a guy on a rooster here. It's all sorts of fun and games. And now let's see where we're going to go to next. It's going to be Numbani.
This pick, we've seen it before from Team Poland. They feel confident in their dive setups, and I like that. They're playing to their strengths. Although France, also a known and very strong dive team, Poland looking to take the battle to them. That's a statement right here on Numbani.
Numbani, of course, more wide open, and France, even though you'd think that this map would be much more in their wheelhouse, so to speak, right? They did get challenged a bit on it yesterday, so it is something where, even though you gotta favor France here for all sorts of reasons, you have to have a little bit of hope that maybe Poland could do something to shake it up.
Well, Poland certainly has been playing well here, especially players like Danye. He's really been that core star of this team. They know he's their superstar, and they put him in the position to succeed. And this comp will do exactly that. If Poland elects to go with this Sombra Genji, you're going to see Mawaj scouting everything out, getting that crucial hack on potentially a soldier to turn off the sprint or an Ana to deny her abilities. Then Danye has the potential to take a Nano Blade and just clean house.
So Poland, here on the attack first, France can be running that Soldier 76 back on the defense. And, you know, again, just seeing AKM and Soldier hits all the nostalgia buttons in my body.
And here's the thing about France's comp. It might seem a little disjointed. They don't have the best aggressive potential. This is a classic defense comp. France, if they don't go down, if they don't lose any picks early in the team fight, they will absolutely grind things out and win in the long game. That's the plan with their composition. Survive and grind. Mawaj, though, wants to get that early pick, setting up the flank. He's going to put a deep translocator so he's ready to get back in the fight even when he's forced out.
And he's also giving that intel, looking for Wins. Wins able to evade the hack, but here comes a dive back the other side. Wins gets taken down. Both supports and the Soldier down. A well-executed dive coming in from Poland. Matt was able to get the hack after all towards the very end, and this is decisive, Jake.
And you can see right there how much Ana relies on her cooldowns. The whole game plan for Team France is to back off the high ground, use a biotic grenade on the biotic field of Soldier 76 to give it that insane AoE healing impact, but Ana hacked instantly before she can get to the ground. There's no chance for a nade, there's no chance for a sleep. France can't make the play they're looking for, and you see they've switched to the 3-3 comp.
Now, one interesting thing here is that Poland, of course, they don't quite have ultimates up yet. For France, can they actually shift momentum now as a result just because they lost so quickly?
Yeah, this is a great thing about the 3-3 comp. You're so functional without ults, and France playing so decisively here, getting right in, taking down Dooku. Without a main healer, it's going to be tough for Poland, but Poland, great use of the map here. They're all on the high ground. It's so hard for Team France to actually chase them up here. There's essentially nothing they can do. Poland waits for their main healer and going to recontest very soon here. Danye has the blade, and Dooku almost has the nano.
They're giving Danye some time to get the blade, but the problem is Dexter gets staggered. So now if you're Poland, you're going, all right, we got some tools here. We got the EMP, we got the blade, but we can't get everyone up at the same time as France is quite literally in their spawn.
Poland needs to minimize mistakes here. You can't be affording to get picked off in this circumstance. Wait for the full regroup and make it count. Mawaj, though, gets the hack on AKM. No sub-bubble. He's an easy pick.
Immediately gets it. They also invest the blade here, so Danye using the blade for more cleanup, easily taking the fight, but for France, this isn't too bad. The payload hasn't moved the entire way. They're going to get another chance at a point B contest pretty early in the point.
Poland, though, to their credit, they get that done with only a Nano Blade and the spawn camp. It's going to get them a decent amount of push here. But France, they fought so early here, they have a potential for, honestly, 2 more fights on the street space. That's a rare feat, and it only really happens when you're able to contest that early on first.
Look towards Poland here, though. They have a huge bank of ultimates. How does France deal with that?
France, their composition is so functional without ultimates. They just need to survive here. But the EMP self-destruct, there's no answers to that.
Immediately grabs 2 there. Well executed. Dexter connecting with the aid of his Sombra, and Poland. They invest quite a bit, but they do easily remove France. And now this is going to bring things right to the apex of point B.
The only downside of that fight for Team Poland is that the CMP self-destruct takes down everybody, and the surviving members just instantly take a quick jump off the cliff. That means that Poland's not able to farm any more ults. They only have their final 2 charges left. France maybe can be able to take this fight. They're going to have so much pressure on the cart here with Soon.
They move right back on over. Soon, of course, on the Brigitte. Shadow, stunned early on. Primal Rage in reserve. Plenty healthy here. Poco under fire. Just barely able to get healed back up. Lays the self-destruct in. Gonna need to get the remake. Self-destruct doesn't get what he's looking for. Shadow. Invest the Primal Rage. Disruption coming in here for Poland. They would really love this fight, but Shadow absolutely focused down. Great turnabout here by France. Now they've built the rally. They get to go back the other way. Poland down their Winston. They can't control space they'd like to do here. Matt under fire, not going to build the EMP in time, and France holding here at point B.
France doing exactly what we've talked about in terms of losing well. They did lose those last 2 team fights, but they didn't let Poland charge up any more ultimates. It gives them the eventual tempo lead, and now they're stopping the card here on second point. It's so close to the finish, but that's just not good enough yet. France, they're going to be holding so strong in the card, and AKM has managed to find his EMP. It's going to be a lot tougher for Poland to find the initiation they're looking for facing AKM's EMP.
You know, I gotta say, and this is pure nostalgia speaking here, I see Wins in the payload, and it's like, yeah, we've gone back to the old days, but he hasn't been on the payload that often. It is a new era.
He's definitely been playing well, not a one-dimensional player at all, not limited in his style. He's been really flexing and playing intelligently here, so I'm impressed to see that kind of gameplay from Wins. Unko in the backline gets found. Matwatch takes down the translocator of AKM.
They do know where the Sombra is here, though, so they have a chance to react. France, though, under trouble. You see the dive in from the front, the EMP from the back, but they immediately get on the Danye. So France still with man advantage. Wins gonna knock Shadow right on over, and France easily taken. You're speaking about Wins being multifaceted, certainly finishing some kills off there.
Exactly, but more than the kills, it's Wins hiding away from the EMP. Matwatch does get a good EMP, shuts down a few sets of abilities for the side of Team France, but Wins hiding in some corner, comes out, instantly drops the beat, and there's just no chance to capitalize. Even without abilities, France uses that barrier to survive. Poland, feeling the pressure, they're going to make a switch over to a tank comp as well.
A lot of time has been burned off the clock here on point B. France has re-solidified. Poco just gonna lob the bomb to the back. Doesn't get what he's looking for. Now self-destruct going back the other way. Dexter, not gonna get it. Gets taken down by Unko in the Coalescence. Baby Diva down. 2 early picks from France, and they're just going to aggress deep into Polish territory.
I love the patience from Benbest there. He gets a 3-man shatter, but doesn't force it, doesn't try to over-capitalize. Instead, Team France just targets the players who aren't stunned and just uses that stun as a zoning tool. It's a great shatter from Benbest, but an even better level of understanding not to overcommit on it. He knows that if he actually goes in to try and finish those kills, he might pay with his life, and it's just not worth it. France stabilizing on the cart now. They have the rally for this team fight, and it's so effective in the tank comp.
Not soon here with the rally all set up. Poland going to be looking for the nano boost engage. France, early shield coming up here. An early pickup on the Soon. Falls early, mid-rally. The ideal situation for Poland. And now with 2 early pickups, moving in a little bit deeper. Shadow, Earth Shatter up, but he shouldn't have to use it here, Jake. Those early pickups were enough. They get point B.
Shadow using the nano boost so well there. Goes really aggressive, gets focused down, but the nano is such a massive swing in just raw HP for the Rhine that he's able to just man up. Soon, a little bit over aggressive, tried to take him down, but gets punished for his efforts. France, they're gonna have to find a way to stabilize here, but it's Danye with the Graviton Surge up first.
Danye gonna be the master of his own destiny. Rally coming up here from Poland. Under fire, minute 50. Best opportunity they might have all map long. Shadow drops the Earth Shatter, knocks down 2. Poland moving up, but Shadow under fire. Beat gets dropped just in time. Poland well protected here. Matwatch though goes down. France was still able to find a few pickups on the other return because of AKM's grab.
The grab self-destruct combo is so effective here in that 3-3 comp, but Danye making a wise decision, doesn't commit his Graviton to that fight, knows it's a lost cause. Now it's Poland's turn. They've got that big bang combo. We'll see if they can make it work as well as France just did.
Poland going to be coming right back on over, and Dexter's been very good on these combinations, so as you say, you gotta watch Danye and Dexter here.
At the same time, though, Wins does have that sound barrier very, very soon. That can block the Diva self-destruct damage if it's timed properly. Wins, he's been on point so far. I wonder if he'll be able to do it again here.
Two support ults up here for France. Meanwhile, Poland. Reinhardt shield broken. Ben Best!
The sleep.
Ooh, what a sleep. Interrupts him midway through, but it's not enough. Shadow gonna get taken down very early in the fight here. And as a result, you see Poland just in full retreat. France in full aggression here, moving on forward. They get Matt. They're going in even deeper. They sense blood in the water.
At the same time, it's a massive grab eat by Poco, completely shuts down Danye, but Danye somehow back to 62% charge just a few seconds later. France, they might not expect this second grab to come out after Poco made such a big play to eat it, but it's AKM who's got the grab up first. France, they can dictate the pace of this team fight.
Let's see what Dexter's going to do about that. AKM holding on to the ground, does connect on the grab, gets two immediately in. France is going to dive in, Shadow out. France up here once more. Danye, though, firing back to the other side. He's pulled to the grab his own. He's super low. He fires the grab before falling. Gets healed back up. But the beat gonna get dropped here by Poland. They go in even deeper. France retaliates a beat of their own. Self-destruct might have gotten Poco, but Ben Best gonna drop the shatter. Fight now going back the other way. Final 2 seconds here on the map. Poland fighting to stay on in it. Ben Best just isolating the back. Dexter gonna lose his map, gonna lose his life. Wins going back the other way. Ben Best moving forward, and France now starting to remove Poland a bit more from the payload, but it is a brawl.
Such a scrappy team fight here. Hard to know who's going to come out on top. Ben Best, he wants to farm up that shatter. That could be the ending that France is looking for here on third point. He's so close, 85, just needs a few more strings. It's also Unko with that Transcendence, ready to counterplay plays for Poland. But both teams playing this so slow. The shatter is huge from Shadow.
Into the back, gets Dooku. The healing engine for Poland is down, and Poco got a little bit more. Ben Best with the final Earth Shatter. France gonna be holding off Poland right here on point C.
It was such a nice shatter by Shadow. Puts a few on the deck, but it's not enough. Unko's there with the Transcendence, and Poco's bomb gets the clean up. France holds on third point, but Poland, that's a respectable push. They could still win this.
Poland definitely has options here where, again, as you mentioned, we've seen so many fights here in Numbani just get stalled down point C. It's actually not the easiest hybrid map to get a full completion on just because of how advantageous that final point is to the defenders. And, you know, let's break that down a little bit. Why is point C so good for the defense here?
Well, the first thing is the map geometry, right? On the offense, you're pushing through all these small choke points. It's much easier for the defense to get the fight that they're looking for, given that they can play on the outside of those choke points. You force your whole team to stack up, play together, and then they're getting cleaved down by Ben Best on the Rhine because he's able to play those corners that he wants to play. And all he has to do is sit on the card. So it's on the offense to make a play, and at the same time, they're so constricted it's difficult to do so. The other key component to think about on really every escort map and the payload section of every hybrid map is that the closer you get to completing the map, the more spawn disadvantage you have as an attacker. You're pushing all the way to that defender spawn. When they're spawning right next to the cart, picks going both ways is going to favor the defense. Their players will be back quicker. So Poland, they need to do better than just trading one for one.
Now there is also a neater win condition here, though a little bit rarer on the Bonnie, is that you can also just get the full hold on first, and oh man, Jake, we might be living in the best timeline right now. He hasn't gotten his changes yet, but it's not going to stop Matt from bringing him out here.
I actually really like the Torbjorn on Numbani first. It's one of the best points for a Torbjorn tech in the entire game. There's a lot of great turret positions. I would expect Matt to place this turret and then potentially move around, be it somewhere else where when the turret does go down, he can rebuild somewhere else. This could catch France off guard, but at the same time, Torbjorn is a major liability before he gets his multi-core online.
This is kind of where I wish we could get face cams on the French team as they go forward. It was like, oh, it's a Torb. What's going on here?
Well, this is all on soon now. He needs to scout this out, let his team know what they're dealing with. He's going to do exactly that. He already makes contact with the Torb turret. He's going to let the team know. They're going to take a more considered approach now.
Soon, take to the back. All the intel going here. The France almost certainly going to be calling that out to his team. And now he sees a Torb. He's had time to register what's going on here, Jake.
Torb is something of an easy target in these situations. Soon, though, doesn't want to get cut out. He knows how much of a reset that'll mean for his team. But France responding so intelligently. This is how you beat Torbjorn. You counter pick him. This is the only struggle on Torb, right? Matt, only on 10%. He's not going to have Molten Core in time. And AKM is going to have such an easy time blasting down those turrets with the right click.
Now, one thing to note, France has invested about 40 seconds just on the reset here. So if somehow this doesn't work, they're going to be in a big hole. They go straight up to the high ground with the tanking up, and they immediately get Shadow. They just dive on him. They obliterate him. And now France with the man advantage, not really too phased by the turret, just hiding behind the shield here so far. They're going to take a breather, go on back, hook, going to break, payload doing a little bit of a solid there for Dexter, but France now just gets to rotate back on in. They're focusing the Diva, just relentlessly chasing down these tanks. They deal with the turret, and this is surgical coming out here from France.
exactly how you want to play against Torbjorn. Don't let him win that first team fight. Just make sure the first team fight is played intelligently. Don't get caught out by a sneaky turret. And then without a Molten Core, he's just such a weak character. He can't really contribute anything in the team fight. So Madwatch is going to switch over to the Sombra and knows that it's not possible to make Torbjorn work in a competitive environment like this.
The dream was real for a moment, and then France just had to be smart about things, Jake. But it was a cool adjustment to watch.
This is why we don't see so much Torb played. It's really difficult to deal with an enemy that's going to instantly counterpick you and not let you play these sort of niche picks, right? They are so good against certain team comps, but if you're willing to swap, you're willing to counterpick, it's an easy take for Team France.
So what you heard there is play Torbjorn and ladder.
You can hear whatever you want.
France up, coming up here on the front-hand side. The Zoom. EMP comes in from the back. It's a nice EMP, going to be hitting most of Poland. France going to be diving on in. 3 early pickoffs, and this is simply looking easy for the French team.
The crowd knows who's making the plays now. Soon, huge EMP hits everybody. Poland, I don't think there's any chance of them getting a strong recontest here. France all the way through second point, and they don't have much further to go.
This is really quick here. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a lot of time left.
Yeah, and soon he wants to build up that next EMP. You can see him just farming that ult, chipping away at the tanks. Bendes playing so smart, keeping that shield at high values. He wants to be able to win this Shadow duel, and Shadow doesn't have a Shadow of his own to threaten.
Moving right in, 2 pickups, the front line down, and the other 2 down as well. Bendes just does the 180, drops the hammer. France, the full team wipe. And now you're getting the Diva stagger for good measure. Meanwhile, you take a look at the payload. It's just casually rolling on through, 5 miles per hour, and yet Poland can't get back in time to stop it. France dominant here on the bottom.
The Torbjorn does not pay off for Team Poland. France so punishing there, and finally with that offensive Diva stall, not something you see every day, but France so intelligent to make that play in the last seconds, doesn't give Poland even an opportunity to recontest. That's a 2-0 pack.
You know, one thing I give credit to the French team here as well on a completely unrelated note. Every time we go to camera, they are drinking water. This is a well-hydrated team.
You've got to stay hydrated. It's so important. Gaming long sessions, you need to keep your mind high energy. I'm a big proponent of hydration. ZP knows. I talk about this all the time. It's my mantra.
Yes, absolutely. And hey, France right now, they're looking very clean. And Jake, if you're the UK looking at this, does this scare you a little bit, this new side of Team France coming out here today?
The UK, I'd be stunned if they're scared, not for any sort of rational reason, but because they're always confident. It's how they play. If they lose that confidence, things are looking grim for them. So I hope for their sake that they're feeling good still.
Well, you know what? I think you're right. I think they're still feeling good, but we are going to go to a break. When we come back, second half, right at you.
Off to you, Jake.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC of the Overwatch World Cup, and by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
Took down both supports as they in the Overwatch League, you're hyping up the chat, taking your team to hashtag trending, and spreading memes at tracer level speed.
All while watching us cap the point.
Speed like that deserves a network that can keep up. With T-Mobile, get all the Overwatch League you can handle with coast-to-coast coverage. Now your arena is where you make it.
Things are heating up here in Paris. The crowd is loving it, and the hometown team is absolutely rolling. France up 2-0 here at the half as they prepare for their greater challenges later in the day.
From my perspective, this is one of the most dominant sets we've seen all weekend long from Team France. They're just playing perfectly here, leaving nothing to chance. Great compositional matchups, playing those matchups really intelligently, understanding how to play to their strengths, showing that experience. If you're Team UK, you're looking at this and saying, we know we're going to go up against the best France squad right now.
Yeah, they have been playing very, very well here today. But you know what? We still have some time for some change-ups here. Poland, I believe, is going to be doing a substitution going into the half, so they want to get all their players a bit of extra play time here, where, why not? You're in the home stretch. You might not be able to make BlizzCon, but you still want to have some fun, make sure everyone's well represented. It's going to be Redziak coming in, and he has been a projectile specialist, Jim.
This makes a lot of sense. We've seen Redziak come in that second half time and time again. He's also done really well on the Widowmaker, on the Genji, doing the Sombra. Can play sort of all these top characters in the current meta. So this makes a lot of sense. Bring him in for that second half. Those last 3 maps potentially for reverse sweep does occur.
Of course, speaking of maps, this is going to be the Polish map pick coming in here. And we do have a sub here for France as well. Nico going to get some play time as well. So coming in here for AKM. And, you know, it is interesting where, again, they do like running Nico on these projectile-based setups.
Well, it makes sense to bring him in for that second half. You've got that assault map type, that escort map type, 2 maps that are often going to make room for Nico's best hero, the Genji. He's your Genji specialist. You want to bring him here, and for our assault map, it will be Horizon Lunar Colony. This is a very sensible pick by Team Poland. They picked this time and time again. It's their favorite assault map very clearly, and they've done it really well on it to their credit.
What do you think about Horizon for Genji relative to some of the more often picked assault maps like, say, Temple of Anubis?
Well, on first point, Genji's definitely viable on offense and defense. Second point, with those long sidelines, it does get a little bit more difficult to challenge the hit scan. But Nico, a player who's proven he can make Genji work even in slightly tougher scenarios.
Gotta love the crowd getting into it even more. They are hunkered down, and really, they are entertained by what they've been seeing here. It's been a great crowd to listen to.
I mean, if you're Team France right here, you are absolutely not going to let off the gas. You want to be feeling at your absolute best going into your match later in the day. You want that 4-0 just to pump up that confidence to the highest levels. You need it against the United Kingdom.
This is fantastic. But now, we look towards the game here, Jake. France setting up here on the defense, and they got something that you kind of like. Sometimes you kind of play a little bit. They got the Junkrat.
I'm actually pretty surprised to see Nico on the Junkrat here. Not the normal composition that we see on this point, but France, they think they can make it work. I'm interested to see how they play this. It's not a composition I've tested before. Nico holding very close, maybe looking to make a super aggressive play early, or potentially this is his second trap. He's got a trap by the spawn, and he's going to drop a new one if the first gets popped.
Oh, got him!
Perfect.
Right away.
Wow,
that actually looks painful. Looks like your back actually just got broken.
It's a nice stagger by Nico. Gets up to 25% to his first Riptire, and he's already got his next trap down. Now he's going to move into a more passive position and start laying in that spam. Poland, this could be tough. Redziak might have a hard time on that Genji, dealing with a Junkrat spam, and there it goes. Already picking the choke. I didn't expect it to be quite that quick.
This has been really good for Nico so far here. Gets the early trap pickup, gets some good grenade spam the other way. Halfway to a tire. Dominant so far.
It's so important to get that early tire up. It can be a major shutdown. You can win team fights all on your own with that Riptire if you just take out maybe 1 or 2 crucial elements of the enemy's composition. But now Poland, they're not going to make the same mistake again. Want to be very careful about the spam, but it's Soon who finds the pick on Danya.
He's able to find Danya, who's just poking around the left-hand side. Soon was having none of it, gets the early pick. And meanwhile, look at Nico. Jake almost has a tire before there's even been one real fight.
France, this comp could really backfire on them. Running that Junkrat, you run a heavy risk in that first team fight, but Nico, he's making it work. He's found the picks, and now very close to the tire. This next fight is going to be really tough for Team Poland. They have to survive the Riptire. They can't afford to get some crucial tanks picked.
And the issue here for Poland is that if they do get just gummed up by the Riptire, the rest of the ultimates for France are going to start coming here online, and they just look discombobulated. This Junkrat absolutely has them flummoxed.
The biggest part of this as well is that you have Soon hacking everybody as they try to come in. Shadow gets trapped on the high ground, can't go as deep as he wants to go. Nico trying to get a safe position to pop the Riptire, it seems.
Yeah, he's waiting for it. He's going to wait for his team to give him the go-ahead, and now it's time to let it rip. Tire. Go around the left-hand side. Going, a little bit aggressive, finds Lucio right in the middle. Kaizano out of there. And now France, they also have other tools, but Soon just methodically chases down Shadow, goes on in, doesn't have to use the EMP, the ult economy from France here is looking so good.
The power of that Lucio frag is that you take away Poland's escape plan. That's how they plan to escape the fight and reset. You kill the Lucio, and then everyone else on Team France can go as aggressive as they want, get all those cleanup kills. Now Soon has the EMP. 2 tank ults almost ready for Team France, and Unko also with that nano. This is going to be really tough for Poland. They're going to have a nano Benbest right in their face.
France just holding on back. EMP up here from Soon, going to use it right away, but no, doesn't have the right immediate. Redziak gets 2 in the back before the EMP comes out. Works out pretty well for Poland, but they're getting clean on the backhand side. They invested a lot in Nanoblade. They got 2 supports, but France, even as low as they are, they're finding a little bit of time to delay. It's just when you're down 2 supports, it's hard to keep people on the point, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to get back in time.
Probably not. The Nanoblade taking down 2 supports. He does fall instantly, but that respawn time is so long, and without heals, it'll be really tough for France to sustain. But Wins is back. Unko's alongside him. France might be considering a recontest here, especially Benbest with the Primal, but Soon goes down. This might change the formula for Team France.
Still pretty okay here for Team France, where they're able to get 3 minutes off the clock. Generally, that is above norm here on Horizon Point A.
It's definitely all on Nico's Junkrat there. Really, as soon as Poland was able to get a real fight, not dying to that spam, they won it pretty quick. So Nico doing a great job on the Rat, getting those early picks, getting all the time off the clock there. Nico now, I expect him to be playing the high ground, but it's Danya on the McCree. This could be a real test for Nico. It's very easy to get picked off by a McCree.
Poland right now just looking for the high ground, giving Danye a little bit more room to work with. France, though, a lot of tools here that just completely disrupt this. I mean, take your pick. You got the tire, the self-destruct, Primal Rage. They're going to decide to go through the bottom, but it also gives Danye less options, and now he might be swapping here, Jake.
The other challenge is this is the power of this Widowmaker Junkrat. Me and Lynx here, I think, had figured out so many of the unique synergies between these 2 characters. Junkrat is a character that makes you want to separate, you know? You don't always want to go into the same entrance, all taking the same splash damage. But at the same time, when you split up, you don't have that Diva Matrix to protect your whole team, and the Widow can just free fire. So it's very difficult to play against both DPS simultaneously. You try and deal with one, you end up feeding the other.
Danye now in the Widow, gonna be looking for one of the hardest Widow pickoffs in the game and soon. Now that I've given him that sort of intro, watch him get it immediately, because that's just how it goes. But you're gonna see Danye come up over here to the top, looking for a pickoff, keeping an eye on Widow. Ooh, had a chance at Ana. No, wasn't looking at Soon. Soon grabs him from the right-hand side, and that is a brutal pickoff here for Poland.
This is the power of the Junkrat. In order to find the peak, Danye has to separate from his team. He can't walk out into that spam that they're all soaking. At the same time, that leaves him exposed. He doesn't have his Diva with him, and Soon gets the quick punish. Danye is gonna swap here, but he's not sure what to pick. A long time in the spawn here. Poland seems a bit confused by this comp from Team France.
I mean, they're actually, this is full on spending a lot of time in spawn, sipping some tea, and it's like, well, you got 3 minutes left.
I mean, I like the idea from Team Poland. This could work, but Soon almost has the Impresight. Nico has the Riptire. So many ults to work with. This first push is almost impossible for Team Poland. Soon is already on the Brigida, ready to deal with that Genji and Tracer.
Yeah, the idea here is that once you see Genji and Tracer, you go to the Brigida, you make it a much better counter. Tire coming out here from Nico, looking for anything, biding its time, a little bit of evasion on the walls, diving on over, and they use it for the team mech. They get rid of Dexter's mech early on, and Nico finishes off the baby Diva. 1-man advantage here, the France. And it's just being methodical. Soon controlling the point. You're going to see Benbest leap in towards the back. And France just in firm control, never really in danger at all in this fight.
I like the patience with the tire by Nico. He waits for that beat drop to slowly decay. If you detonate the tire and just take off a sound barrier, you're really not getting anything done for your team. But breaking that Diva mech, which is so deep into the spawn, that's an easy pickoff. And of course, the 5v6 is so easy as a defender on Assault for second point.
France now. See Unko holding on to the nano boost, and that's going to be pretty crucial here for the next fight, as long as he's not picked off early. Poland, do you have a Transcendence that they can go in really aggressive with? Oh, Danye caught! Soon just pushes him against the wall. You guys see his Dragon Blade coming from Redziak, already down 1, finds Unko stunned, and actually for Poland, they picked off 2. Redziak stays alive, gets enough support, and Poland, they're really low though. Here's the problem. It's all sorts of cleanup potential here for Nico on the fight. Dexter low, Kaizano low, Benbest making room, and see Benbest on the primal. Able to get Kaizano. Self-destruct going to be coming here from Poland. Benbest falls. Poland now starting to get some real momentum.
At the same time, though, Soon is back on the point. They have to deal with this Brigida. She's so strong against these limited number scenarios. Nico has the high noon, and there's just no abilities left to stop him. Poland out of gas here. They need a ton of capture, but France retaking control.
France able to turn that one back around, and Poland, to their credit, I mean, they were wounded for a lot of that, but they made more of that than expected for how it began. Redziak got a pretty decent blade, but 2 ticks, not enough.
Blade somehow found a lot there, even with a lot of answers on the side of Team France. Nico potentially considering another swap up here. Danye on the Hanzo, this makes sense. So difficult to deal with the Hanzo on the McCree. That long-range headshot is so dangerous, but the Genji able to get aggressive, and this is, of course, Nico's specialty. He's right in his wheelhouse here.
See Danye here on the top, looking for any pickup. Keep an eye on Nico. Would love to get the long-range pickup. Poland now going to invest a little bit more, but you see France, they're going to use the rally. Shadow, take it down immediately. Man advantage to France. Nico not afraid to get in even deeper. Redziak going to fall. Coco and Nico just aggressing here. Moving forward, Poland, no choice but to back out. And now, Jake, down to the final 30 seconds.
Poland staggering themselves here. They're going to have one chance, and as the clock runs this low, it might not be the kind of setup fight that they want. They're going to be forced to just run it down mid just to keep that overtime going, and you don't have the tank ults on Team Poland. Those are the crucial ultimates you want to be using to stall in an overtime scenario. Redziak, he absolutely needs to go big with this Dragon Blade.
Redziak, hold on to the Dragon Blade. Poland, what you got here? You got a barrier, you got a blade. Here comes Redziak, doesn't get the barrier. In fact, way away from it, goes on in. No real support, 40 HP. Has to go back the other way. Ben Bessa taking on down. Oko D-Mech, the front line from France, gone. Barrier, though, still in play. France on the point. Unco fighting off here on the Zenyatta. Danye, though, gets the Baby Diva, but soon finishes Shadow. Poland's a bit ahead, but they certainly need more here. Ben Bessa with the Primal Rage, buying time. Gets chunked by half, but Nico with the last blade gets two, and France well in position here. The hold versus Poland. It was close, but it wasn't enough.
France in total control there. They've got the Transcendence, instantly popped to answer the Dragon Blade. France's tanks stay on point. Poland not able to finish it off, but a good push from them. That's a lot of time on second point. This is not a guaranteed victory for Team France.
France definitely probably wish that went a different way here, but they do have a very easy win condition here, Jake. Just simply grab point B. Don't have to worry about time after that. Just go forward, get 96%, add another W to the column.
There will be no overtime rounds here on this assault map. Poland setting that win condition for Team France, 95% on point B, but this is a tough point to take. We've seen a lot of people fail here. Here we see Nico's Blade just putting a period on the round. Nice patience, waits for that self-destruct, goes right back in, and just cleaves everybody up.
You call it a period, I call it an exclamation point, especially when you're picking up two pickoffs like that. It's just consistent play, and that's what you want from your Genji. It's great when you get the flashy plays, but you know what's better? Just having every blade you use get good value, win you the team fight. You don't need the crazy 4 or 5Ks, you just need the 2 to 3 that make sure that you get the job done.
It's honestly unnecessary to overextend yourself with that ultimate. Just getting a few crucial picks, it's going to allow your team to clean up almost every single time. And when you get kills with the Dragon Blade, that's just ultimate charge, but your teammates aren't building. So sometimes it's actually more efficient to wait out your ultimate and just get exactly what you need to take the team fight and nothing more.
Somebody say, better?
Both Winstons may be considering having a snack here on Horizon Lunar Colony. Of course, a return to Winston's childhood home.
Yeah, you know, in the end, it raised them. I had a few friends here, ended up going away in the escape pod. But, you know, lore-wise, never know when he's going to come on back.
Yeah, I do certainly hope we get more members of that Horizon Lunar Colony orphanage up here. We've got Hammond and Winston so far, and I really like both the designs on those characters. So hoping for more coming out of that Overwatch universe.
Hammond just like, you know what, I'm a little bit smaller. I'm going to build myself a mech.
Here, Poland, they've run this comp before. It's Kazano on the Zen. He's the linchpin of this defense. Dooku, they have to keep Kazano alive. Nico GDH already on that Tracer, ready to threaten the Zen. This is a tough test for Team Poland.
France setting up here on their dive soon. Not even really being stealthy, just goes for a bit of poke. Nico, though, picked off early. Poland will dive on in and deal with that. Now they're going to back up. Good HP. France going to take a breather here.
Yeah, they need to slow things down. Nico did get caught out there. I think potentially off the back of a Sleep Dart or some good damage by Kazano. Rare to see a Tracer fall to a Winston in that scenario.
See soon here, all stealthed up. See just how he wants to go in. And again, he's being careful. He doesn't want to get caught in the crossfire, get de-stealthed, and that's why he was waiting so long there.
The dash comes out from Redziak, but doesn't find Nico. Nico skirting around the backline soon. Has found a weakness, though. Moving on to Kazano with the help of Benbest. That's a quick pick, and 2 for Team France.
He calls it out. The Winston dives on in, and it's clean execution coming here from the front squad. And it's just too much too early for Poland. You can't lose support like that and expect to win the fight. And soon just racking up the pickoffs here towards the end. And the best part about that here, Jake, you take a look at soon. That EMP is going to be headed straight on in.
Almost 4 ultimates ready for Team France, looking potentially to snowball this, and they have so much time as they move on to that second point. Soon wants to finish off Dooku, but he's going to teleport out just before Danye can complete the hack.
France here, what is you look to Poland, what do they do to defend against this?
The challenge here is that you have to hold off every push without overcommitting. If you use all your ultimates, France is just going to sweep back in on the next team fight. But France, they have a major lead right now. They maybe just want to end this and not worry about that huge time bank.
Yeah, the early hack goes off onto him, but Ben Best not really affected by it in any sort of way. But Nico got slapped. Frenziak was right there for the follow-through. That's going to delay France, and it gives Poland so much vital time. Now they can fight ult for ult.
Yeah, Poland, that's a crucial team fight victory. They're able to put up those tankles. They've got the EMP and the Nano Blade of their own. It's only Kazano who still have to charge his ultimate, so big fight for Team Poland as the defenders. It's so much easier to get value out of these ultimates, but again, Poland, they have to be careful, not overextend themselves. It's a huge EMP by Danye. The blade from Redziak cleaning up.
Redziak getting the cleanup there, but here's the problem as you take a look at exactly what you're talking about here, right? Is that Poland, they didn't need to use every ultimate here, but they invested quite a bit. France, under cool, calm composure, what do they do here? It's like, all right, everyone's got an EMP'd, this is fine.
I mean, here's the power of setting that win condition by full holding the second point. Even though Poland got 95% progress, France doesn't care at all about the clock. They've secured themselves a 6-on-2 ultimate team fight. France in an even better position than they were last time. Poland, a tougher test lies ahead.
You have to see what Soon's going to do here. One good EMP could absolutely crush Poland going into the next fight. See Nico trying to get the Sombra. EMP coming off here from Soon. Redziak out of the fight early. Benbest picks up 2. Nico moving on in with the barrier. And this is surgical coming in here from France. 3 uncontested pickoffs. And Nico looking for a bit more. Baby Diva down. France still at full strength. They move on in. And Poland absolutely crushed by that ultimate advantage that France had moving in.
Everybody healthy on the side of Team France. Not much opportunity for some comeback picks here. Danye already hacked on the Heyman, instantly taken down. Great awareness by Soon. Poland, they have to get a pick to somehow turn this around, but it's France moving inexorably toward that 95% win condition.
Here's the problem. This is where you love a win to have a Primal Shadow doesn't have it. France getting every pick up for free. They're not under any pressure. And you look at Poland, they don't have any threats that are really going to do that. Redziak falls, and France, it's all over but the crying here. Yeah, Danye, you're going to go a little bit delay here on that Hammond. Diva going to be coming back on out, but Dexter can't touch the point in time. France taking map 3.
A 3-0 victory in the series for Team France. But of course, in this series, map score isn't so important. It's all about pride. So France, they're going to keep going. Look for that 4-0 series. Poland not finding the answers here, and France just proving how important experience is in a game like Overwatch.
Yeah, and there's what better show of experience do you have than that textbook display of how ultimate economy works in the game, where, again, you take a look at France's reaction, right? Where you see the huge EMP come in, everyone gets struck, they see the Genji coming out the Dragon Blade, and a lesser team might have looked at them and went, wait, use everything, fight back. France just looks at the situation and goes, wait. We have a lot of time, a lot of ultimates up. We can just take this L. It doesn't matter. We're going to lose the battle, but we're going to win the war.
You play it smart. All that matters is that map win. It doesn't make any difference how much time you have in the bank at the very end. And of course, France, they know this. They put themselves in the best position possible to succeed. And honestly, it just looks easy in that final team fight. But that's all off the back of that really high-level team fight play.
Yeah, and of course, France, again, a team that's been around this long together, with so many members that have played together for as long as they have, it's just something you got to come to expect. But Poland, let's see what they have here for a map number 4. Where are they going to bring us to as they look to, again, show off their stuff? I'm curious to see what that map's going to be, and it's going to be Dorado.
Dorado makes a lot of sense. We've seen Danye and Redziak be really effective on those sniper characters, maybe looking to force some sniper duels here, but of course, they're up against none other than Soon.
You know, I know we're not going out to the French crowd, but I would love a Soon chant right about now. I mean, that honestly just, it's great. It just not only gives him the appreciation that he probably should get, but just sounds cool.
I mean, I think if Soon's playing the Widow on Dorado, you will absolutely get your wish here. He's popped off time and time again in those Widowmaker duels, a deadly player on those sniper characters.
Gotta love it. France here, of course, no slouch on Dorado early defense. And part of that is just the team coordination that they have. The courtyard can be one of the most difficult point A's to get in on an escort map. And Jake, what makes that the case?
It's rough to sort of move through that first choke, and Dorado is a very unique map. On a lot of escorts, you don't see that super aggressive fight in the spawn. But France, at least a lot of their members, when they played with Rogue, they were known for innovating those aggressive spawn camps, playing these dive-heavy setups and getting right in the face of the attackers, not letting them set up even outside their own spawn door. So France, we'll see if they want to get that aggressive again.
You know, they do get pretty aggressive, but let me take you down history lane. You ever want to see something super aggressive? Find the old school Envy versus Complexia Dorado, because that was brutal. That's some old school Overwatch, but that's not the case right now. It's new school. You got France versus Poland. We'll see what Poland is going to do here on this attack.
Soon on the Widowmaker, and this double main healer setup from Team France is going to signal probably a slightly more defensive approach here. They want to put those tanks on the cart and keep them healed up with those double main healers. Nico on the Genji, he could have a lot of space here, but he needs to be shutting down the snipers.
Redziak already under pressure. Soon just dispatches him. That took no time at all, but the resurrection is there, so we will go again, as they say.
France, they like their odds better on this second point choke. I like that play with this double main healer. You got the Ana and the Mercy. You want to use those sharp corners on second point. Make it really hard for the snipers of Poland to get the peaks that they want. Nico's going to be able to get right in their face and not have to challenge them in those longer sidelines.
And the Hanzo wants that one arrow that could change everything around right now. And Poland, they are getting a lot of space here as France, as you mentioned, just rotating back, going, all right, Poland, we dare you to come into this courtyard.
Poland, they're not pushing the cart. This could come to bite them. They do get the first pick, though, so maybe looking to win the team fight. But the cart, it's moving all the way back to spawn. Danye with another pick. This should be a team fight for Poland, but they're losing so much cart progress here. I don't know that they'll even be able to cap first point with these picks.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that they overextend beyond the cart, so they catch France off guard. Danye showing what a big carry here that Hanzo can still be with the right arrows. The problem here, though, is, as you say, France can easily get back in.
We've seen a lot of teams make this mistake before. It's so seductive to get aggressive into that first point of Dorado, but if you're not pressuring the cart, you leave an opportunity open, but what a headshot. Finds Soon right off the spawn. Now it's Danye with the Dragon Strike. Could be really tough for France to recontest into it, but Nico in control, completely dumpsters Redziak.
Deals with the Widow threat. Nico coming back on in, 78%. Could build the Dragon Blade. But Danye takes him down! Another flick arrow coming in from Danye, and this has been huge. Hanzo play coming in, but you have Soon back in the fight. Danye was low. Soon finishes him off. Gets some sweet, sweet revenge. And Poco, that self-destruct kill. France is getting their way back into the fight.
Poco, it's easy cleanup for him with that nano boost, and Soon, of course, back is going to be a little more careful about those Hanzo arrows next time. The delay coming out on Dexter. This is brutal stagger.
You know, I gotta say is that I wouldn't want to be in any sort of Ana daycare program. I feel like waking up from nap time, probably the worst experience of the day. Poco able to deal with Dexter's baby diva, so again, more stagger coming out here from France.
At the same time, Soon does get shut down. The res is going to come out on the Dexter. He's trying to get back in the mech. Kazano dropping so low. 1 HP does get taken by Nico. He's got the blade out.
And Dexter couldn't get back into the mech. Nico now moving in, blade ready. Just Ben Best and Nico diving in. Another two going his way. Danye gets the moral victory there towards the end, but it's just not going to amount to anything. Only 1:35 now left for Poland.
You have to feel like Kazano got a little bit baited there. Went in to res that baby diva. She was able to resuit, but the Mercy paying with her life for a res is almost never worth it. So great awareness by Team France. They let Kazano come in for the res, instantly dive and punish.
France now about 2 team fights away from getting the courtyard hold. It is something that happens quite frequently here on Dorado. Unco in the back on the nano boost. It's ready. Zoom with the pulse bomb. And oh, he would love to get the crowd chant his name right here. Stalking here from the left-hand side. It's 3 blinks ready. He's going on in. Sees the Zenyatta, drops the bomb, and forces out the Transcendence. Dooku had to drop it under pressure, and Poland, they don't get the engagement looking for. Ben Best buys time, Primal Rage ready, and gets on out.
Nice patience from Ben Best. He doesn't want to take the team fight there with the Primal, but now he's going in. This looks like an aggressive commitment. Danye dropping low, so much cleave, hitting on all the members of Poland. It's so hard to keep them alive through this. Kazano's Valkyrie is over. Now it's just the self-destruct. Ben Best wants to shut down the baby diva. This is a great pickoff.
Ben Best, such good control over the Winston here. France, nothing flashy, just holding their ground. Soon is going to fall, so Poland, they feel a little bit more powered. Start moving back the other way. See Danye on the high arch there, looking for pickups on the McCree, but here comes Nico, dashes to the air, blade out and denied, taken down, flashbang and Dooku dealing with the blade. Danye still a threat, supported by his team, going to the ground floor, but Ben Best, look at the play he's doing here. We're running out of time.
It's so hard to take down Ben Best when he's got this nano boost, getting spam healed by Unco. He's still at 500 HP, getting a ton of ultimate charge, but Danye finds Soon. This could be the beginning of the end for Team France. It's a pocketed Danye, moving forward on the left side of the fountain, getting so much value here.
Wins, sniped on down. Danye able to get that last pickup. Now look for Baby Diva, gets another, and you take a look here. Nico, one ninja against the world. Goopa stomped right in, and France won't be getting any more delay here. Point B is on the way, but France was able to buy so much time.
Poland, they passed the first test, but again, there's a tougher one waiting for them. Now it's soon on the Widowmaker. Nico making the switch onto the Hanzo. I'd be surprised if Danye sticks with the McCree. It's so difficult to play this in a double sniper. He's going to bring out a double sniper of his own. This is a classic matchup here. It's all about which set of snipers is going to produce more, and you have to feel like Soon has an edge here. So much experience in this situation.
Soon's Widow pedigree is almost second to none. Was in the All-Star matchup board, and for good reason. Looking for the pickoff, and what a nice flick headshot onto the Diva. Chunks Dexter out of his life. And just take a look here. He's protected, looking for the Hanzo. Poco, though, down, so both teams down to Diva. You can see Soon going back over to the top. The other Widow doesn't have the sight line, but Nico is the other threat. They weren't looking at him.
Soon takes the Sonic Arrow, it's stuck to him, so Soon's going to be backing off from that, but Benbest doing a great job struggling the pressure, but he dies, doesn't get the Primal off. Now it's Soon's turn to retreat back. The tanks of Poland getting aggressive. Nico goes straight to the cart, just wants to delay things. Soon backing up to his spawn, he wants to regroup, but again, it's only 120 left on the clock for Poland. They have one or maybe two fights here, but they'll have to be quick.
And this is one of the hardest points in the game to get through as an offense. It's so defender favored, from high ground to setup to just how you can run the snipers. And you see him setting up here. Unco in the back, Poke on the way. Soon on the top, looking for the other Widow in for sight. In pressure right now. Almost gets Hanzo, but not quite. Poland now gonna invest in Valkyrie. Moving on, and what a shot! Oh, Redziak taken out of the sky.
Redziak forced into the jump shot, gets punished for his trouble Soon. What a sweet shot from him, and it's all just control here from Team France. Unco back in main. No one's contesting him. He's just putting out too much heals to deal with. Poland, they've got one shot left. The clock is running down here on second point, and they've even got more staggers incoming by Team France.
Yeah, Dexter's gonna fall right over the cliff, down to the beach. Poco goes, it's about as expected, but 25 seconds left. Poland, how do they even position here?
It's going to be rough. They're going to be forced into probably a right side retake by that mega health pack, but it's a real challenge to move into that position without getting picked off. You can see Nico already in aggressive position. He wants to end this push before it begins. Redziak getting forced out of the flank. He can't find the lineup that he's looking for, even with his infrasight on.
Benbest does get chunked a little bit on the left-hand side. The Widow, the one doing it. Danye finds Nico, but Redziak down. And oh, gets Soon! The double sniper battle won by Danye. Under pressure, though. Poco looking to neutralize the threat, but damage going back the other way. Has to self-destruct. He's getting another get back into his mech. He just might. Soon was res back in. And Benbest on the nano boost is just crushing Poland as they try and stay on the payload. We are in overtime. Dexter has no choice but to sit there and take it. And now the Dragon Strike gonna force him off. You see Shadow falling. Poland, no one left on the point. Redziak, it's time to go in. Can't do it. France holds on B.
Even with a few big picks by Danye, it's just not enough. You can see Unco back in that main is keeping everybody healed up. Poland, they never really got close to taking that. If you don't shut down that Ana, you really have no chance to evict the tanks from point. You can see Benbest, how strong he's holding with that nano. France playing that point so well. Poland, they need an answer.
We'll see just what that answer would be. Of course, France did give us a little bit of a preview of what you could do in this situation where, you know, you could just go for the first point hold. France is pretty close. Poland could look to execute something along the same lines. The problem here is that even though Danye's had very good moments, overall across the board, we haven't seen quite the same level of mechanical skill coming out from the Polish team.
Definitely overall across the board, France is the stronger team, and that's why they're up 3-0. That's why they're looking to close out the 4-0. But Poland, they have some bright spots, and I like the composition that they might be pulling out here. Right now, we can see on our other monitor that they're looking at an Orisa composition, something that will really enable Danye to be that carry that they need him to be.
Take a look at Soon here. The crowd's looking at him. The chant perhaps about to begin.
Exactly. I mean, we've heard quite a bit of it here on Dorado. Soon getting so much done on that Widow. What an insane shutdown on that jump shot from Redziak.
Crowd, of course, very, very supportive here in Paris, and for good reason. It's great to have an Overwatch event here. It's even better to have fans that are this passionate about their team.
France, they want to close this out. They know what's before them. It's time for Team Poland to maybe flip this script. This Orisa could be the beginning of a big change here, but I love what I see out of Team France. They've got the Lucio and the Mercy, the two highest mobility supports, to complement with a Genji Tracer dive. This is a new classic dive setup, and it's really strong, especially with those Valkyrie blades. You get that damage boost, but you can also apply the AoE healing when your whole team commits.
And what's even better about that, this Polish team, they're not running Brigida. Brigida, who's pretty good at dealing with double Genji trays. And oh, France are going straight in. No chill whatsoever. Poland goes, all right, this is happening. We're going to push you back. We're still actually okay with this. Ventus going in for more. Low HP, but doesn't fall. And soon, and Nico get exactly what they were looking for in the back. 3 pickups here to France, and this blitz has been successful.
Poland, they want to camp the spawn here, but they're punished for their hubris, and they're delaying the Roadhog. Oh, this is brutal.
This is just terrible.
Brutal.
You know, you expect it for the baby diva, but the Roadhog goes, wait, this isn't what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's a rare sight to see. France in total control of the game. Nico even waits for Dexter to commit his self-heal, farms up even more ultimate off of him. What an intense high-value play by Nico. Now he's got the blade. It's going to be really rough for Poland to try and retake this.
Soon holding on to the pulse bomb, looking to the back line, a lot of juicy targets, and immediately just one clip for Etienne, drops a bomb, blows up Dooku. He gave his life for it, but that is the definition of work.
That's just a 1-2 punch, cleaving apart those backliners. Nico doesn't even need to commit the blade. Now there's 4 ultimates on the side of Team France, and only going to be maybe 1 to 3 available for Poland on the next team fight. They're at a major disadvantage. These double snipers need to find an opening pick. Poland not only needs to win this fight, but they need to win it clean. They need to restabilize that ultimate economy that's been so dominant from Team France all series long, but France giving them not a single chance at it. They're holding around the corner. There's not getting any chances for the snipers.
I need to know where Wins is right now. There's 1 person on the payload. We see Nick with the blade, dives, gets another 2. Absolute devastation coming in from the French team. And again, I need to take it's Wins on the payload. I'm looking at the overhead map. Wins is on the payload. Classic rogue gameplay here from Team France.
Love to see it. Wins getting his job done. His team absolutely chopping up Team Poland, though. Nico, it's a great setup position. He holds that corner. The snipers from Poland, they want to get out there. They want to start peeking, but the moment they show themselves, it's Nico with the blade. And France, they're setting up the same play again. Now they've got the tank ults ready to enable it. Danye, it's going to be so hard to survive this huge flank by the DPS of France. They're already on the back line.
They're super deep. Wins is pushing the payload all by himself. Ben Best getting the pickoffs they need. This is classic. This is Team France gameplay. It's domination. They finish at 4-0. And Wins, you have made me exceptionally happy.
For me, that was just perfect classic dive, making that Genji Tracer work to perfection. Poland, they don't have the Brigida on their side, not able to shut it down, and it's just clinical team play by France. You can see them setting up all around the map and just collapsing from all sides. Poland, they have no idea what to do. They can't defeat team play like that.
That was just great coming in from France. Don't forget, that was the pick of Team Poland there, but not the first rodeo here for this French team. And you think back to the day, Dorado was actually one of Rogue's best maps. So it's just like, you know what? We're pretty okay with this map choice.
I mean, it's hard to find an escort map that will be a weakness for Team France. They're so strong across the board, and this is just proving it here. A 4-0 over Team Poland, setting themselves up, building that momentum for that, of course, all-important series at the end of the day.
France looking so good here, and as you mentioned, the series at the end of the day will be that France v UK matchup, which will decide who will get the #1 seed going to BlizzCon, and that is the difference between going against perhaps an easier team in the first round, going up against South Korea or USA, where I think it's safe to say teams don't really want to do that.
Of course, the format this year does mean that the place that you qualify for BlizzCon is so crucial. As EP was saying, it's all about setting yourself up for the best possible BlizzCon run. At this point, it's the France and the UK going to BlizzCon from this stop, guaranteed. But the winner of their series will be the one that can take that 1 seed. And you do not want to face South Korea from the first round, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think you have a little bit of experience there, though. Hey, you were like 2 team fights away. You were close.
It was close. They are beatable. Of course, a lot of strong teams here in the field, but at the same time, you want to set yourself up as well as possible. If you play a weaker team in the first round, maybe you don't have to reveal all of your strategies. You can keep things maybe a little more shrouded moving on later in the tournament and set yourselves up for those more difficult matches.
Well, you know what? To pump up the crowd, to get a little bit more insight, we got Zoe down on the floor.
We do indeed have AKM joining me from Team Front. Let's hear it for this young man and his whole team who showed up on this stage. There were a lot of expectations on your team, and I think you more than fulfilled those. Now let's hear it. Taking a trip down memory lane. All the matches you played already in this group stage. Anyone really surprised you?
Germany for sure. We were not really expecting them to be that good. So they played really well, and it was a really close match to them. But else from that, we were really prepared to anyone, and we're pretty happy with our performance.
L'Allemagne les a surpris, bien évidemment, donc ils étaient un petit peu fébriles sur ce match. Mais autrement, ils étaient prêts pour n'importe quel adversaire et ils sont prêts pour tout à l'heure.
And you know what? You guys look prepared. Now you only have one more game to go. That's going to be the last match of the day, and it will be against the United Kingdom. That's an anticipated match, so let's hear it from you. Any words for your opponent?
So I heard Boombox yesterday saying easy clap for them 4-0. I think that's going to be the contrary. I'm pretty sure we're going to have 4 of them.
Bon, il a entendu Boombox dire easy clap 4-0 pour UK, mais AKM, il est convaincu que ça va être l'inverse. Hein, AKM? Quelques mots en français rapidement.
Merci de votre soutien, les potes. Vous êtes les meilleurs. Sans vous, on n'arriverait jamais jusque-là. Et à la BlizzCon, on va tout donner, on va tout détruire.
Nice. They're gonna destroy everything at BlizzCon. They're gonna give it their all. Thank you, AKM.
Well, we can't wait to see that happening. Can't wait for your next game. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, AlphaCast, of course, for translating. We're now heading over to our casters to break down the action we just saw on stage.
Thank you, Zoe, and you gotta love a veteran like AKM. Absolutely pumped for the match later today, and you know what? That confidence where it's just like, yeah, you know what? It's actually gonna be a 4-0 for us. Let's see ya, UK. Let's see ya.
I love to have both teams come into a match confident, and this certainly sets us up for a real tiebreaker. You know, we get that final say. Who is the dominant team at the Paris stop? Of course, France in front of the home crowd, looking to keep those cheers going, but the UK, they want them silenced.
By the way, speaking of AKM, we got a few stats for you here. You know, it's pretty good at the game. You take a look here, and this is just what he was doing here on the Zarya.
Staying alive for a long time, getting a lot of damage out. We didn't see too much of AKM in the series, but really, if anything, this just goes to show how quick those first 2 maps were for Team France. They're in total control the whole time. AKM staying alive, putting out the damage on the Zarya. It's all important in that composition.
No doubt about it, and of course, he has always been a crucial part of this French team, going all the way back to the beginning in all its various different incarnations. But you know who else has been a part of things for a long time? T-Mobile. Official sponsor here, the Overwatch World Cup. And we got the Fan Pulse that's going to be heading at you right here. Take a look.
We've got the translation here on this. Essentially, he's saying a Widowmaker duel with Soon is a bad idea. Immediately punished. Couldn't agree more. Soon, absolutely dominant on the Widow. You know, I'm really questioning some of those map picks by Team Poland. Taking it to Dorado against Soon, you don't want that Widow match.
No, absolutely not. And look, there's a reason why he's one of the most feared Widows in the game. So you're right. That is a great observation. And yeah, it's not an easy pickoff in the least. So taking a look, we have more people weighing on in. And Soon, very clever, choose his name. You'll never know if people are... It is true. He has really hedged his bets here.
Yeah, definitely working here, but the crowd, obviously so much support for Soon. At this point, I think he can differentiate. I'm sure he knows that feeling, just that crowd. I mean, it's such a sensation, right? It's almost more of a feeling than a word.
Yeah, you know, that option select, always a good thing, but we got one more tweet heading right at you here. What's it going to be? I want to hear your opinion. South Korea, Finland, USA, Canada, China. Yep, this is our BlizzCon that is locked in. We know that here today, and absolutely true. BlizzCon is going to be fantastic.
And what I'm really excited for is later today, we're going to start to see where that base of the bracket is going to be built out. What are those opening matchups to start that off? Of course, all the 1 seeds will be facing 2 seeds, but the actual matchups are yet to be drawn. So stick around after our last match. Make sure you see how BlizzCon will get started.
By the way, if you want to weigh in here on our T-Mobile Fan Pulse, don't forget our hashtag OWWC2018. But now if you're tuning in just going, whoa, that was quick. What actually happened here? We do have some highlights here to go to that kind of remind you of everything we saw here in this last match. And I got to say, France was looking great, but Danye had his moments.
This was a great opener by Danye. Gave his team mid-control, but wasn't quite enough to take the map. Oh, and this is look at this, double knockoff, 2 environmental kills in a row. France playing so well around the pit in the center of that point.
AKM, again, just strong cleanup here for 3. Classic AKM gameplay. Danye, though, barrage over to the side and found his moment, struck.
I love this as well by Dexter, instantly protecting him. And Shadow with the Primal did such a good job shutting down this tank comp from Team France. They were forced off it in the end. Danye's blade here was a big bright spot for Team Poland as they retake card control.
Of course, you see Danye slicing his way on through. And again, Danye, good moments, but the overall team play of France just suffocating at points. And Nambani, another great example live.
Ben Best, I love this Shatter, just 180. He knows where the opponents are at, is dropping the Shatter before he even sees them. It's a nice trap by Nico, a man after my own heart.
See Redziak here, and this is where he got to the back. You get both supports probably going to be a good.
Such an all-important swap. You see Nico waiting that extra second, lets the self-destruct go off, keeps himself alive, and chops at the supports.
Meanwhile, Dooku back sleep.
Ooh, that is nice.
That is some serious prediction. Nico never saw it coming.
Then mess with the Primo, making it look easy on this final offense that worked out for Team France. It's a great use of their ultimate bank, but they actually capitalize on every ultimate. Benbest finds 3 frags.
Speaking of that, again,
what a headshot.
Yeah, that time at least it was a different Tracer. It wasn't Nico who was soon, so you at least spread out the rage of how did this happen?
Danye was such a bright spot for the Polish team. This is great movement by him. Not only is he connecting the shots, but he's so hard to dive on from that position. This was just nasty by Soon.
Red Ziok moving forward. You get those headshots. It's just such a boon to your team. And man, this was aggression. I kind of wish we had the other highlight here, which is who was pushing that payload. We all know who.
It was Wins, but Nico doing such a great job setting up with his team there. I'd love to see that with the Genji. The Blade, it's so flashy. You sort of get all the kills, you light up the feed, but it's really all on your supports, your tanks to enable you. It's pretty easy to take down that Genji with his limited 200 HP, but when he's alongside his Winston and his Diva, it's a much tougher task. So France doing a great job, great synergistic dive there, showing why Rogue was considered the best time team in the world for a long time.
Well, guys, I'm sad to say that all good things must come to an end, at least temporarily. This is the last matchup me and Jake have here in the group stage, but it's been absolutely fun traveling the globe with you guys, showing you up-and-coming Overwatch gameplay. But don't fret, there's still more Overwatch coming here today. Take a look down below. United Kingdom taking on Italy right after the break.
Thank you, guys. Signing off.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. And by Omen by HP, the official PC of the Overwatch World Cup.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.